Hi everyone, welcome to our annual KansasFest update for A.P.P.L.E, often known as Call-A.P.P.L E. I'm Brian Weiser, and I'd like to give you a quick overview of what our group offers before I go into everything that Bill Martens and I produced this year for your enjoyment. Our primary website is Call-A.P.P.L.E.org. Call-A.P.P.L.E comes from the name of our magazine that's been around for decades, and we post here the latest Apple II, modern and retro Apple news, and things available to our paid members like the Apple User Group Bulletin that provides discounts on current Mac software and hardware, among other things. At our core, we are a user group first established in 1978 by Val Golding, and if you become a member and you log in, the menu options expand and you have access to more items that are available otherwise, software, magazines, etc. Our price has actually never changed. It's $27.95 per year. But if you wanted to support our efforts and not become a member, we also have a donate option. And as a member, there's an entire membership information page, but you've got access to our current magazine, which is usually over 50 pages, full color PDF, as well as all of our legacy Call-A.P.P.L.E and other magazines. And in the last year or so, we did establish a Discord channel for our members for fun, support, random conversation. So that's available. And this is a cover from our June issue from this year, highlighting the Space Intruder game. And if you're not a member, but you're considering, we continue to make available our 40th anniversary issue as a free PDF that you can download. And again, the magazine has been available since 1978, and our latest offerings with the digital PDF started in 2015. And here you can see several of our magazines that we've produced over the years. The very original Call-A.P.P.L E, the ones in the early 2000s, and then several Mac publications like MECC, A.P.P.L.E, Mac Horizons, the Aptalog, which is the Apple Programmers and Developers Association. And yes, we even produced a few issues for the Apple III. Sadly, it only lasted 2 issues, but that is the 3 Cheers magazine for Apple III fans. And we also host other related magazines for both Apple and non-Apple platforms, like 2 Computing, Australian Apple Review, Computist, Apple Orchard, that Val Golding actually contributed to, and others. Speaking of other magazines, we've added some things recently. If you go to our other magazines section on the menu, you might discover the long-lost issue of Apple Orchard, the August-September 1984 issue, and this has been confirmed to be the very last issue that was produced, so we can stop wondering if there's more beyond that. And that information came from Rick Sutcliffe, also known as the Northern Spy, who writes that monthly column. And his article appeared in this particular issue, and he had more articles prepared, but sadly, this was the end of it for Apple Orchard. But that is fully scanned and available for our members. And also available now in PDF form is a magazine I've certainly never heard of before called Computer Command. This is a promotional issue that came out in 1984, sent to schools and came with a teacher's guide. It was produced by the Children's Television Workshop that also did the really fun and awesome Enter magazine. And this promotional issue might be the only one that was ever produced. We really don't know, but it's really neat to see it and have it archived now. Our other big website is applearchives.com that's been online for over 20 years. And here we've always made available resources, links, vendors, a variety of information and resources available for the community. We've got a big redesign planned for the main landing page that should be coming out soon. But you already, I'm sure, visited this by going to our beagle.applearchives.com site that's been the official repository as the Beagle Bros repository online for about 20 years. And the Applied Engineering site that's been online for about 15 years. And then peripherally, we also have virtualapple.org that's been around forever, where you can play Apple II games in your browser. And our Take One movie library site at Apple Archives has been online for over a decade. We just redesigned that this month. And it contains movies that were produced by users around the world during the 1980s, mostly, using Vaudeville's Apple II software, Take One. And of course, besides the movies, we also host the software and the manuals, and of course the new ProDOS version that Cucumba was nice enough to release a year ago. And among the software that's pretty exciting is we were able to recently archive the animation package, Actors and Actions, both the box and the manual. I scanned those probably for the first time, and also Heroes and Villains. So both the manual and the disc for those are on our website now. That's a brand new offering, freely downloadable for everyone. And just a quick sample of some of the different movies we've got, over 30 and counting. A very impressive movie that has now been released for the first time exclusively on our website is Star Voyagers 3000. It was actually created in 1990, but just barely released. It encompasses 10 discs, if you can believe it. And we have all the details of that story in our magazine and also on our website if you want to read the article, or just go to the website and download it and have fun. One of the other things we updated this year was the Apple Dayton User Group Library. We added many discs, and those have been donated by James Littlejohn, Chris Yanella, and John Burchett, and those are, of course, free for everyone, as they should be, coming from one of the legacy Apple user groups. At our mecc.co/news site, we continue to expand the many offerings from the MECC educational company, discs, manuals, and so forth, recognized as the official repository by the original contributors and CEOs. And that's a big project, lots of work in the past and lots of work ahead to keep making more of that available. And last year we announced our new store with apparel, mugs, posters, things like that. We've added more things to that this year, and we will continue adding over time, so you might want to check back. Art that has appeared in our legacy magazines and art from other products that we've produced. And here's some more of that fun art from the magazine, Penguin, and The Apple's Apprentice, and so forth. And now we come to the exciting chapter where we talk about some of the different books we've created this year. Back in February, we released the Pascal Anthology. This has been a passion project of Bill's for decades that finally got released as a companion piece to the All About Pascal book. It's over 225 pages and takes an extensive look at the Pascal programming language, primarily on the Apple II computer, with many utility programs and in-depth subjects included. For example, Pascal Zap, Scene Double with Pascal Graphics, and Utility Exec. This one is especially exciting for me, being a fan of BBS's back in the day, GBBS Pro. I'm sure you remember we released 2.2 and the manual several years ago with the blessings of the owner Kevin Smallwood. Well, thanks to the Herculean efforts of Paul-Le, we now have a brand new 2.3 version available as a public beta on gbbs.applearchives.com, as well as a brand new physical manual in coil, hardback, or paperbound. Well over 50 pages have been added, and Paul also helped me refine the documentation for this new manual as well. So what changed? Well, originally we thought this was going to be a smaller update, but I guess Paul was having so much fun, he got a little carried away, as he told me. And so here's a detailed list of everything that changed amidst the various features and segments, bug fixes and enhancements. One of the big things is a new mail module that's a lot more capable. And also SuperTAC, which is where a big portion of the manual's enhancements come from. SuperTAC is a vastly more capable file transfer system, and that is now an installation option, or you can still use the original basic file transfer system if that's what you prefer. And another BBS system, also owned by Kevin Smallwood, is Networks 2, which was originally created by Nick Nemo in the early 1980s. And it was written for the Hayes micromodem, which had a lot of unique features at the time, and we really wanted to give this a proper release. So this manual has now been created. It's well over 100 pages. And beyond the physical manual, Bill Martens did some programming to enhance the password capabilities, so it now has more characters, and fixed a few bugs as well. So we've got a new 2.6 disk that's freely downloadable, and the physical manual is available for purchase as well. This is what the menu would have looked like when you connected. Next up is a font, an open-type font, which means it should work on any system. The Apple II keycaps font, created by John Snape. And this is really an awesome little font. It started out as simply being keycaps, i.e. The box around the various letters, so you can emphasize a specific key press in any documentation you might create. And then we decided to have a little more fun with it and add a lot of different symbols from the Apple II and mouse text and early Macintosh. It's got both high-res standard mouse text characters and the original mouse text characters in 8-bit. And there's also floppy icons and the Beagle Bros and Penguin disk warning icons. Well over 160 icons are included in the font beyond the core functionality of emphasizing the keycaps. So that's available as a free font, and also the accompanying manual. And one that you may have seen as the game was released in the last month is Space Intruder, which is a high-speed arcade-style action shooter developed by Rafael Resenda entirely in assembly language and within 48K of memory. And there is a physical manual and, of course, also a disc that's freely downloadable with beautiful cover art. Here's what some of the gameplay looks like. There are 5 distinct levels or stages, and after those, the challenge levels begin, and those challenge levels are actually endless, and they also increase in speed on each subsequent level. So good luck. It's pretty darn fast and challenging, but a lot of fun also. Here's stage 2. And what it looks like if you actually manage to get a high score and score something far better than what I did. And this is Raphael with his wife and his Apple IIe and IIc setups he used for programming and testing Space Intruder. And he wanted me to say a few things on his behalf. He had already made a game in assembly called Bomber, but then after he studied the book by Jeffrey Stanton, Apple Graphics and Arcade Game Design, and also looking at some assembly routines he found online, he learned some things and achieved a big improvement, which resulted in the final Space Intruder game that's been released, that has sounds and better graphics and better gameplay. And he discovered along the way that programming in assembly is not such an easy task. That is very true. And it is very challenging and fun. And, thank you for creating such an awesome game. That I've certainly enjoyed it. Not that I'm very good at it. And we're also looking at putting together a limited edition disc and box for Space Intruder. Now with Lordlings of Yore, when I put that manual together back in 2018, I designed a box for that and did a little test run. And we're thinking of doing the same thing, not only with that, but Space Intruder, Witch Trial, and Beyond Quest in a limited fashion. If you already own the manual, you could certainly just buy the disc in the box or all 3 together. And this is a sample of the Lordlings of Yore box that's already fully designed, just to give you an idea of what it might look like. It's a little bit of a thinner box, but it still has some good depth and could accommodate a paperback or hardback version of the manual as well. So if that's something you're interested in, please email editor@call-A.P.P.L.E.org so we can start establishing some interest that way. And as usual, all of our books are available at callapple.org/books. And all of the apps for those books, game manuals, programming manuals, are all freely downloadable at callapple.org/apps. And I wanted to give you a few updates of some books that are in progress, just so you can have a glimpse of what's coming in the future. Now, I've released a few things from Penguin over the last few years. The unpublished archives, courtesy of Mark Pelzarski, like The Spy's Adventure in Asia Pictures, and of course the Graphically Speaking physical book. And last year I talked about the Comprehend Adventure Development System that they used internally, along with the unpublished Graphics Magician Painter 2 in ProDOS. And I'm continuing to work with Mark amidst both of our schedules to do a full physical manual release covering those so that people can continue to author those adventures. It's in progress, hoping to have that out in the near future. And understanding the Apple IIe, that full redesign is still in progress. It's a lot of work since the original goal was to fully recreate all 100 illustrations. The book has been fully retypeset and it's gone through some initial proofing and error checking, but we still have a lot of illustrations and some layout to do. So that is in progress, but it's an enormous project. Just wanted to give you an update on that. And our latest physical catalog, of course you can go to our website anytime, but we've produced a PDF catalog for KansasFest. There's a link in our Discord channel, and it's also available on our website if you'd like. And now, two more things. Yes, another contest. You too can create a Take One movie. So the Apple II software enthusiasts and A.P.P.L.E are sponsoring a contest. There will be prizes. Your movie would be reviewed at the January 2024 Apple II Movie Festival. And if you visit our takeone.applearchives.com site, you can read all about it and enter your submission. And also, GS Plus Magazine. You may remember this magazine that was published from 1989 to 1995. And we are now, at A.P.P.L.E, the official distributor of this magazine, and details will be forthcoming for release of that magazine and the accompanying disc, all coordinated with the original publisher.
Hello, KansasFest. I didn't see you there. It's I, Steve Disbro, of GS Plus Magazine, also known as Diz, here to let you know that I'm back. Kind of. That's right. GS Plus Magazine has been collected once again, for some reason, and will now be available exclusively through the auspices of the fine people at Call-A.P.P.L.E. I don't know when, and I don't know in exactly what formats. You can ask them. It's part of their presentation, I'm told. I don't really know. But that's pretty much it. That's the announcement. It's good to be back, sort of, here at KansasFest. I hope you're all playing Bite the Bag, virtually or in reality. And I hope that... Yes. Oh, you're right. Yes, I forgot to tell them about the hordes of mutant cats I've been breeding the past 30 years to take over the world. Well, you'll find out about that soon enough. So, in the spirit of Wiser and Jobs and buy GS Plus Magazine from Call-A.P.P.L.E. It's the only place to get it now.
And that's the update for this year, so stay tuned. Let us know if you have any questions, suggestions, feedback. We're always happy to hear from you. thanks, and Apple II and Apple III forever.
I will just say, I mentioned this before, but I'm very pleased about the unearthing of that, what is now known to be last apple orchard. Thanks for that.
Oh, that was so exciting when I stumbled upon that and managed to acquire it. I couldn't believe it. And reading the magazine, it doesn't give any hint of the demise either. So
no, and I actually spoke with Rick Sutcliffe, because in the last issue that Brian has there in his closet, safely tucked away, is a first part of what was supposed to be a 5-parter of the Modula 2 article that Rick Sutcliffe wrote. And so I talked to Rick, and he said he never got the next issue of the magazine. And since he was one of the authors at that time in that magazine, he would have likely gotten them. And so that pretty much confirmed that it was never produced. And those other 4 parts of the article also went to, sadly, the digital wasteland of yesteryear. So a couple of questions came up. I know, Quinn, we will arrange for you to find the keycaps disc here short. Like Martin Doherty asked about the differences between the Pascal anthology and All About Pascal. The Pascal anthology really was supposed to be all about Pascal. It started right at the end of 1982, when we realized that there was going to be a bevy of Pascal articles. And so at that time, I created the Pascal anthology disc. And the original plan was to go back and add all the articles, but that all went by the wayside as well. The disc got remade in '84, and along about that time, we had newer Pascal materials that went out with the Pascal in Depth book. But being as it was a pet project of mine, I wanted to go back and give it some justice. And so we've got almost a 300-page book that has a lot of the early Pascal 1.1 materials in it. Several programs that are not in the Pascal in Depth book.
One question I see that came in on the Discord was Huxley asked, what's the rough membership count like, and how many of your members are nowhere near Puget Sound?
Is nowhere near. Oh, how many members are nowhere near Puget Sound? Is that what you said?
Yes, yeah, that was the question.
Okay. We have about 500 total members at this point in time. The number of members that are nowhere near Puget Sound is probably about 95%. Being as that most of the people are all over the world at this point, including myself, because I'm actually sitting in my office here in Tokyo, Japan, and pretty much stuffed to the rafters with books and materials.
And I'm certainly not in Washington State either, so.
That's right. Brian's in the Great Salt Lake, so, but since our base is the Great Northwest, and normally I am back and forth between here and there, we have materials on both sides of the water. So that answers that pretty much. I've got a question here from Eric Rangel. He asked, is the zip file of the ROM available on the website, or is it available only for members? I believe that we do have the files up. You may
individual
need to be
PDFs.
logged in, and you may need to be logged in to download them. I can't remember which setting I have on that, but they are rather large files. The total is right at 1 gigabyte for, one gig for the entire collection of 9 magazines. Are there any other questions? And John Van, thank you for your support. Huxley also. And the kitty's name, we don't know what the kitty's name is. Diz didn't let us into that information, so
Yeah,
but it obviously tore him up there.
considering he's breeding a mutant horde of cats, who knows if he can even keep track of names or if he's named all of them. So that's a mystery we'll have to solve.
Puget Sound is the state of mind. No, actually, we started out in Renton, Washington, which is only about 45 minutes drive from where our base is at this point in time. We don't physically have an office in Washington State, only our address there. But the office went by the wayside in 1990.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of thanks for the work you've done, and I would echo that. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot more questions. So,
no,
and thanks for,
like I say, thanks to
being up in the middle
everybody
of the
for
night.
supporting what we do, and I look forward to finishing a few more things along the way over the next year.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
Thank you, Paul, for everything you do.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It's seriously a labor of love to be creating these things, hoping somebody out there is enjoying things. We're looking at things so that I'm not just sitting here in my bedroom, having fun for myself. The goal is for everybody to get some enjoyment and keep our hobby alive. So thank you, everyone.